Well, we had another highly anticipated Fed rate meeting. They actually cut the Fed funds rate, which was expected. But the problem is Jerome Powell had a press conference afterwards. And if you've heard the adage that words matter, that could not have been more evident during his press conference. There's about a 90% chance before that press conference that there would be a Fed rate cut in December. He made a comment and then doubled down on that comment where he said there's not a foregone conclusion that they would have a Fed rate cut in December. And then went on to say, we're actually far from it. The bond market didn't like that. Stock market didn't like that. And you saw rates increase following his press conference. Well, that's not what the market wants to see. There's plenty of people on the sidelines waiting to see what happens. I get so many calls from people, hey, the Fed cut rates. Does that mean my rate improved? That actually doesn't work that way. So as the Fed lowers the Fed funds rate, that affects your short-term rates. Doesn't directly impact your long-term mortgage rates. So if you're waiting on the sideline and waiting for rates to come down, you're actually costing yourself money. Because we've seen time and time again, as the market dips and rates have improved, application numbers pick up, which means you have more competition. So what's going to happen is you're going to see the Fed waiting on more data from the BLS. But with the government shutdown approaching day 30, that just gets delayed. The Fed is making decisions based on ADP jobs data, latest inflation data, which is actually in our favor, which you could have seen some improvement if Jerome Powell had just stayed pretty benign in his comments during his press conference, but he couldn't do that. So we'll be watching it going forward as you get the BLS jobs report is scheduled, supposed to come out next week, but as the government shut down, you're not going to see that. If this lingers on any longer, you may not see data for the Fed make a decision on what they're going to do in December, which is not what the market wants to see. So we'll be watching things pretty closely. The market's trying to stabilize, but the Fed lowered the Fed funds rate. We'll see what happens going forward. Take care.